Welcome back to the Monday Mashup, the flagship show we bring you on the upper tier as part of the Dynamo Podcast Network on YouTube, I should say. Head over there, smash that subscribe and bell notification. And as always, if you're viewing the videos over there, drop a like on the video as always to support us. Audio versions of the show are available through all the audio versions through Anchor, Spotify, Podbean, iTunes. Head over there if you prefer the audio version of the show. Looking at who's on with me tonight, you'd be better off going with the audio version of the show. Just putting that out there now.
Speak for yourself.
That's why I wear the cap. You should have worn a cap.
Greg's bald head HD.
Well, when I sent out the invite tonight, I have to say the first man on straight away out of the blocks, trap 6, Graham Cummins, Spurs top of the league. How are you doing, Graham?
I'm good. Happy can be.
As weeks go, Graham, Spurs top of the league and Arsenal bottom of the league. Has it ever happened in your lifetime?
No, not that I can remember. It's usually the other way around.
And not only that, you can relish it for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately,
international break.
We're on an international break, only getting into the Premiership. Also joining me, the dynamic duo from Retrotainment and Retrotainment Recast, and one half, of course, of On the Slab as well. Greg, how we doing, Greg?
What's happening, man?
Good to have you on again.
I'd say Graham was waiting for that text to come through.
Oh, he's been on Zoom since 8 o'clock tonight. He has. It doesn't start till 10. I thought Graham was going to send me an invite. I was going to let him host tonight. Also propping up the other side of Old Trafford, Darren McCumsky. How we doing, Darren?
Hey, Noel. How are you, lads?
Darren, you're looking very dark. Darren, you're looking very dark tonight. What's going on there? You got a shiner there or something, or a lack of gel or something? You're in a very dark area there at the moment.
Lack of something, man. Yeah, lack of sleep maybe or something like that.
Looking well anyway. And also Mark joined me, of course, that beautiful Van Persie shirt behind him, of course, not an Arsenal one.
No, I'm trying to keep all the Arsenal fans happy with putting their greatest ever striker behind me there. So
I think they're trying to put their greatest ever striker behind them as well.
I forgot Bentner spelled his name with a V and a P.
He's the second best ever.
Hey, show some respect. That man is a lord, and you will put that in front of his name, Greg. Please.
Lord Bentner.
Easy now, Ted. You did tip Wolves to go top 6.
Yeah, and you all tipped Villa and fucking Leeds, and that's not going too well either.
Is it better than Wolves?
Wolves have had a shit run in. Like they're playing the top of the league, Spurs,
Right, let's have a quick rundown of this week's Prem action that took place. Graham, I'm going to start with you. Spurs 1, Watford 0. Workman-like, created a few chances. Kane still seems not to be doing a whole lot, but just showing up. What was you thinking?
Yeah, well, I know it's where for the next few weeks now we'll be playing Thursday, Sunday, or another game Thursday, Saturday. But
there's no Thursday, Saturday. I don't think.
Yeah,
there is a couple. There is a couple for us. Yeah, if we're at home for the European match, we get a home Premier League fixture, and then after that it's like away games on Sunday. So yeah, I thought the lads might be a bit tired, but I know it's another 1-0, but it's 3 points at the end of the day. Great to see, and it's great to see that we're actually in business. We're actually active in the transfer market. We've few heads coming in, and obviously, hopefully, with the deadline day tomorrow, we have a few more coming in. We're trying to obviously offload a few lads. I know Sissoko, he went to Watford.
That was a great bit of business for Watford.
Yeah. Which we're trying to offload
Harry Kane.
We tried that. It's not working.
Palace don't want them.
Yeah, we're trying to offload in AA and RAA. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Somebody might come in for them tomorrow, being deadline day. But I'm happy as can be as the table reads, us on top and Arsenal on bottom. So
good. Well,
I'm happy at the end of the day.
Well, speaking of deadline day, of course, you can join us tomorrow night, 9:30 till 11 o'clock. We will be counting down deadline day. I do have that beautiful gold tie, white shirt and black blazer ready to go. So you'll see me there as Niall White in the studio. We're ready to go. So you're all welcome to join us. The Zoom call will be going out. Hop on whenever you want at that time. We'll be going back through all the transfers that happened for the major clubs in this window. So it should be an interesting.
Is Georgie Thompson joining us?
It'll be Dean Thompson.
Phil Thompson.
Maybe Phil Thompson, who knows?
That's not quite Georgie Thompson now, lads.
Greg, when I put a Zoom link out, God knows who's going to jump on. Let's move on to United. 1-0 win against Wolves. I thought Wolves were by far the better team yesterday, and that's not being boys threatened. I thought they could have scored a couple of goals in the first half. I thought United very lackluster. Sancho, Pogba, Bruno, Labrin. Greg, what was you thinking yesterday?
The Guinness I had was nice. That was about it.
It made you shake your head.
De Gea saved United again. Like, how many times have we said that over the last 10 years?
What a save.
Yeah. It was also a really bad miss. Do you know what I mean? The keeper is on the ground. Why in God's earth would you go low? Do you know what I mean? But keeper had reaction save, great. And then obviously the goal went in. It was United were dirt. If Adama Traore could pick someone out, cross the ball, shoot, we'd have been in major trouble. Yeah,
I was thinking yesterday, if only we hadn't bought Jota, they would have been out of sight. Do you know what I was very impressed with, Ted? You can take this one. I seen Varane running around the back for a cover there when a guy broke in from the right with the ball and went along the byline. And he ran around the back of Maguire and across him to put in that block towards the end as well, which I thought was outstanding covering from Varane, only in the team, really, you know. What was you thinking on Varane yesterday?
Yeah, out of a team of, shite performances, and there's no real sugarcoating that. Other than De Gea, Varane is easily the best player, the best outfield player we had yesterday. There was a few slip-ups from him, but far less than there was from anybody else. And as you said, he was going over and covering Maguire. And then even early on, when it looked like Wolves had a certain goal and Wan-Bissaka blocked it on the line, it was Varane that was across again to block the near post shot as well. So he was covering ground. He was passing balls around and stuff as well. And it was great to see, considering it's his first week in the team and only a couple of weeks training under the belt with the rest of the team. So hopefully he can kick on from there. Fred is just, you can't have Fred there giving the ball away. Like, no matter how much work Varane does, if Fred keeps giving that ball away, we're gonna bleed goals as well. And if I was Varane or Maguire, I wouldn't feel confident passing the ball to him. So you're down a player already. You can't pass it to defensive midfielder.
It's worse that he's the one that's dropping deep as well.
Yeah,
I know that's his position, but
you can't pass to him because you're afraid he's going to pass it 6 yards to the left to
their
opposing player. Yeah. So
did you see the chance that Wolves got when we blocked it on the line? Fred had a chance to clear that, and he needed straight to drink out.
Oh, jeez, that was one of the worst.
And then instead of bringing him down, like you think, okay, it's not really a dangerous position, take him down. He just let him run and run and run, and then fell over himself.
I was also very impressed with Wan-Bissaka, the way he went around the back of the keeper to cover for him as well. I thought that was a real nice piece of defending for any potential defenders out there to look at what you should do in terms of covering for your keeper and stuff like that. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
What I noticed there as well is when he blocked it, he was immediately trying to turn to see where the next shot was coming from to try and get in the way of that.
Yeah, like a space invader. Darren, are we going to see a midfielder coming in tomorrow?
No. I just think it's too late to get anything done or anything kind of decent done, I am absolutely amazed that they haven't tried Van de Beek there. Yeah. I think it would suit him down to the ground, to be honest with you. He's a technical sort of a player. He passes the ball quite well. He's got a decent engine on him and stuff like that. Solskjaer must see something that he absolutely hates in him, to not at least give him a spin at 6 and say, listen, sit in front of the two boys, receive it, play that double pivot and open out and just push the ball around and screen the back four for us. There's no physical way he could do a worse job than Fred in there at the minute. There's no chance.
Do you think Fred must score about 40 worldies a day in training?
I sit in the Stretford end, and that's usually where United warm up. And when they come to do the shooting before the game, Fred comes with the attackers and does a lot of shooting, and he's quite good. And then the game starts, and you're like, "What happened there?"
What happened?
It's like, because when he played for Shakhtar, he played as a 10 for Shakhtar.
Yeah,
he just got told to go and do.
He was taking free kicks for Shakhtar. He was creating assists. He was playing very, very well, but in a completely different role. I think he's somebody that needs to be trying to do something as opposed to not trying to do something. I think like the easier the task you give him, the less likely it is he'll get it done, if that makes sense. Which is a bit ridiculous, but he's off 6 yards from a defender and he's trying to knock the ball square and he just can't hit him. And you're like, 6 yards, pal, what's...
Kind of reminds you of Fellaini when he came in, when he was playing with Everton. He was playing as an attacking midfielder, and he comes in. He wanted to play in front of the back four, like.
But you have to look at Solskjaer as well for picking him every week. Like,
100%.
he can only do so much on the pitch himself, and we know what he lacks and all. But Solskjaer keeps picking him. Like, what is going on there?
He must be doing something in training to fucking.
The man must be nutmegging everybody and scoring worldies left, right.
Listen, he has got plus points. I don't think you'll find another United player that'll work as hard as he will week to week.
Yeah,
he's an absolute machine in there. And we've said it before, you do need players that are going to put a shift in week to week and be that water carrier. But just
not much good if he's spilling it.
Well, and this is the problem, it's far too often that it's something very, very simple, and the lads are talking about it yesterday, why he doesn't step across the front of Traore and foul him. When he gets in one-on-one with the kid, you're just thinking, just foul him, take the yellow. It's early on in the game, game management. Don't let him in that close on goal. But I just felt like he was afraid of Traore yesterday. Anytime he came at it with the ball, he just panicked and he just got out of the way and was like, I'm not going near this bloke. He's way too big for me.
It's the same as I said there when he not somehow passed the ball to Trincao when he was on his own. Yeah. Like, take him down out the halfway line and get on with it. Yeah. Don't let him run. And Trincao looks like a tidy player.
Does look like a good player. Yeah.
Did look good, yeah.
But like how you could just let him run into the box. And then he trips himself up. Like, could you imagine him letting him run, get to the box, trip himself up, take out Trincao and get sent off?
He actually looked like he was going to take out Trincao when he tripped. And I was like, is he going to fall over his own feet and end up taking him down here at the ankles?
That's what I thought as well. I was bloody terrified of it. Based on what you said, Darren, in that, like, he always wants to be doing something. He reminds me of the exact opposite of Roy Keane. Like, Roy Keane never did anything like overly spectacular a lot of the time. It was just the simple stuff. Roy Keane always did the simple stuff perfectly. And it's like Fred can't do that. It's like, here, Fred, we just pass that ball 6 yards over there to Pogba and let him ping it across the park. And you're like, yeah, I'll do that now, out for a throw in, or off down there to Trincao. And you're like, dude, seriously, he's right there. Like, this is Sunday school stuff. Just pass the ball over to him. Like, how are you getting paid a professional contract? You can't pass the ball 6 yards to your left or to your right.
I'm more alarmed on how he's getting into the Brazil team as well.
Yeah. I'd be more alarmed at the fact he gets paid to play football, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, that's what I just said. Yeah, he's getting paid for this,
Mark, you missed out the other night on the Ronaldo episode. Tell us thoughts on Ronaldo coming in.
Yeah, it's just uplifting, isn't it? It's just a feel-good factor about it.
Not if you're a Scouser, it's not.
No, not if you're a Scouser.
That remains to be seen.
But no, in fairness, like, especially getting rid of James now, you're opening a few more places up in the squad, and he's 36, going 37, but he's not your average 36-year-old, like you were saying. Like, and you look around, you look at Zlatan, he's 40 and he's still going. So it just shows you,
This is what I said on the Ronaldo episode. I says they're built differently. The way they've kept themselves.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Because you look at him and you look at Rooney, and they're both the same age.
Yeah. There's a difference between a salad and a chipper.
I know where I'm going anyway, lads.
Yeah, same.
100%. I say Dan James right now is strutting around his apartment or his penthouse going, I just got signed for twice the fee of Ronaldo. He'll go now and he'll be an absolute baller for Leeds. He'll be banging them in from everywhere now.
Wait till they play James out there on the right hand side now, move Rapinha to a 10. And all of a sudden they're chasing Spurs down quite quickly now.
Dan James is waiting for his new FIFA Pro card to be released tomorrow for FIFA 22 or something.
Oh yeah, I turned around to one of the Leeds fans that I know, and I says to him, you just want to tell him he's playing for Wales. Change your home jersey to red, your away jersey to red, and they'll play that great. You play great.
Right, enough of this talk. This isn't the United stand. Let's move on. Right, Liverpool won, Chelsea won. Mark, I'm going to bring you in a minute on the decision, but I've had a lot to say about this over the last few days. I thought in that second half, I thought we were absolutely lackluster, jaded, repeatability, trying the same things, slow to make substitutions and change it up, tried to ping a few shots from the outside to draw them out for a few blocks.
Can you stop talking about Solskjaer here now? Making late substitutions.
These were late substitutions. These should have happened way sooner than they did. Simic is coming on in the 87th minute.
I didn't see the second half.
A left back for a left back with 8 minutes to go, down to 10 men. Absolutely shocking. Mark, the decision. Walk us through the decision. You're the resident ref on here.
Yeah, well, the referee's given it for Dogso, which is obviously denying an obvious goal scoring opportunity. And there was the new handball law was amended in March, where the accidental handballs wouldn't be punished. But for an accidental handball, they were talking if it like bounces up off you and your arms are by your side. But if you watch a replay, it bounces up and James actually brings his arm towards the ball. So hence the reason he was sent off for denying the goal scoring opportunity. The decision for me was right, but what I did say was Anthony Taylor, I felt should have sold the decision better. It's all about selling the decisions. He went over to the monitor. He should have stayed there for maybe a minute or so, and then he would have sold it better. But there was no doubt it's definitely
it was literally only about 3 or 4 seconds, was it?
Yeah,
he barely made it to the monitor.
That's it.
He
just
was
looked,
actually looking from slightly further away. Took a glance at the frozen screen and went,
absolutely.
Yeah, that'll do. See you later.
Yeah.
Well, I found. I know there was war in the group chat over it. To me, like James obviously caught it on his thigh, but the spin on that ball was still going in. Like his thigh didn't kill it to stop it going forward. It was still going in. That's why
it's the swing, as Mark said. It's the swing of the arm. It just shows that, you know, maybe not an intent, like a mentally intent thing of doing.
Suarez handball on the line for Uruguay that time.
Yeah, it was more like, you know, just it was a reaction though. Like I think it was just a natural reaction, but like it's still a foul. Like you know, your reaction is to stop the ball going in the net.
It's the second movement that gets him the red.
Yeah, that's it.
If he freezes and it bounces up, I don't think he gets it. But when he lifts the arm, the right arm, and it kind of, you know, the ball spins off it that way. That's
I think he was gone. Whether his arm moved or not, because I think if that was anywhere else on the pitch, it's probably going to get just a free kick, and you probably wouldn't get booked. But he's a yard off the line. You know what I mean? The ball is going in without that movement, whether or not his arm moves forward or not.
But I think if his arm doesn't move. I think if his arm doesn't move, though, that's where his arm was, you know. But if your arm is already there, it's not on purpose, you know.
His arms were like that, though. You know what I mean? Well,
but as Mark said, it's not an intentional handball. Like if your arm is already there, the ball bounces off your knee and hits your arm. It's not intentional then. It's the swing of the arm that makes it.
It makes it deliberate handball then, you know.
But it's not a natural position for your arm to be either, Ted, is it? If you're standing on a goal line and you're a defender, if your arm is out.
I don't know, if you're throwing your leg up, your arms kind of do go out a bit when you're throwing your knee up. Like,
of course they do.
Like
it's all an unnatural position. But the IFAB obviously changed the handball rule in March or amended it, but they're actually reviewing it again. So you're going to see next season. I think they're talking about if something like that happens again, they're thinking about maybe the penalty will be punishment enough. Like we've seen it before, you know, with last man, if the referee thinks that he's, you know, genuinely made an attempt to get the ball, he'll get a yellow card and the penalty be given, and they say the penalty is punishment enough. So they're thinking about doing that from the same lines for the handball now.
They talk about the double jeopardy, don't they? That you're getting punished twice for it. So is there a case then, and I know this opens another door, but is there a case that if you score the penalty, he stays on the pitch, and if you miss the penalty, he walks?
Yeah, no, I know where you're coming from, but I don't think they do something like that. But it is
because obviously then, you know, you missing the penalty is more advantageous. They're down to 10 men. But,
exactly.
You know, it's just to get one or the other rather than getting the double.
And not only that, the laws of the game.
Choice even.
Yeah, no, but the laws of the game state that the punishment has to be given before the restart of the game, so he'd have to make the decision before the penalty was taken.
I think a yellow would have been fair there. I know by the letter of the law, he had to give a red. I know that's what he had to do here. But I think a yellow there probably would have been fair, because I think, although there was an intent with the arm swinging, I think it was a natural kind of, I don't think he maliciously swung his arm either. I think it was just a natural reaction where he was like, oh, crap, and swung his arm. Like,
like I said, they are reviewing it, so there will be changes. You're looking at probably January or February before they meet up and go through everything, and the changes will probably come in March again. But it's definitely something they have been speaking, even after the meeting just last March. It's something that they're trying to employ, and I say
and after all the melee, what a cool penalty by Mo Salah, I have to say. Absolutely slotted it home beautifully.
But there's that point there though, where you're talking about double jeopardy, right? So imagine he doesn't get sent off, right? He just gets a yellow card to get the penalty and miss it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then what happens?
Yeah, that's
because that ball was going in, the header was going in. Or the volley.
What can you do in that case? If it's blatant and you can say it like that, should you not just award a goal?
No, it would have been a red and the penalty, because the penalty is a chance that you have a chance to miss it.
No, I get what Niall is saying though. Do you just say no penalty? That's a goal.
That's a goal, and just award a goal and move on then. And
that's a tough one, because some of the times you'll see it going in. That one there, you could say, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I mean, if it's very, very obvious,
it's kind of like the awarding of a penalty try in rugby, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I also thought, as the referee was running back out after reviewing, I thought he was going to bring Kepa out with him for a substitution, because we know Kepa loves the penalties and Mendy doesn't, So interesting thoughts on that.
It was a good penalty though. It was Havertz's header was brilliant though, wasn't it?
I find it hard that a keeper the size of Mendy hasn't got a better percentage on penalties, because literally if he lay down in the middle of the goal, he could nearly touch either side. So it's only about guessing a side at that stage. You know what I mean? Because he's got massive wingspan.
It's still the difference though. Like, he commits very early to where he's going. Like, Salah hadn't even got near the ball and Mendy was on his way.
Salah was still having a chat with Rudiger and he was diving.
Yeah. What happened? I better go and take this.
Rudiger tried to mess up the penalty spot or something like that.
That's what he got booked for, yeah.
That's what he got booked for, yeah.
Half the team got booked after that, didn't they? Mendy got booked. Rudiger got booked.
He's an absolute filth bag. He could be related to Sergio Ramos, that Rudiger. He's a knacker, that bloke. He's always upending fellas left, right and centre. And look at him scuffing up fucking spot kicks and all. He's a knacker, man.
I'm surprised Liverpool didn't go for the kill, because he was already on the yellow card.
I'll tell you what, though, lads, I'll take Ramos in a fucking heartbeat,
Jeez.
With Ramos?
Every team needs a player like that. He is a fucking.
You can sell Harry Maguire then for 100 million to Leeds.
What are you talking about? We got double our money off it, so we'd have to get at least 160.
I have to round out the Premiership results today with Man City 5, Arsenal 0, lads. I mean, just talking about a collapse. You can see it there behind me, absolute tumbleweed. Do you know something? I'm trying to figure out whether it's Arteta or whether it's the players, or is it simply just both? And Edu. It's just both.
Yeah.
I was talking about it this evening to a few lads, and I was thinking, 130 million or more, and you still haven't improved.
The Edu shout there is a great shout, by the way. I've got to say, like, you can stick all the blame you want on Arteta and the players, but whoever's doing the recruitment, be it Edu or whoever else is doing it, the recruitment is absolutely abysmal. Like, and I said this a couple of weeks ago on one of the episodes, Leno isn't the worst goalkeeper in the world. We know they're not cash rich. And they go and spend 30 million on Aaron Ramsdale, who's not a big improvement on what they have already. And there's so many other positions on the pitch they could have done with 30 million getting spent. Most of all in centre back position. And you've got a keeper sitting there, and they brought in the boy out, Odegaard as well. Like, it's, oh my God.
The message coming out of this really is, players, even if you do get relegated, don't get disheartened. Because there's always a club like Arsenal who'll spend 30 million on you. I don't know. I just find it, I've looked at Arsenal for years. I admired them during the Wenger era when they came in and they played that football. But I said it over the last week or so. Arsenal was always built on a foundation of a solid defence with brilliant goalkeepers all down through those years. And to look at what they have now, Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, Martin Keown would roll the four of them up in a ball and Leno and pace them out of the stadium on his own. And I just thought it was absolutely shocking the collapse the other day. Now, I know they went down to 10 men, and some people would say it was harsh. Some people would say it was a double foot tackle.
Yeah, bad tackle, yeah.
It looked as if it was, I only seen it one replay, but I haven't seen the actual game. It looked like it was a scissor, 2-footed high tackle.
Well, he went straight by him, you see, but the ref was looking basically at Xhaka's back. So it looked really bad from where the ref was. And I don't think, when it's Granit Xhaka, you're giving the ref a decision to make, which is the last thing you want to do. Yeah. But I think even when they went down to 10 men, I mean, you look at what Chelsea did to us when they went down to 10 men. It's 2 banks of 4, organisation. We know what we have to do. We have to see this out and try and win a point, or maybe get a bit of a break with Lukaku. Arsenal just fell asunder. This could have been 8-9-10-0 at one stage. Man City were just having fun with this.
17 shots on target or something.
Yeah, the biggest banter club around, though, aren't they, Arsenal? They go out, get hockey the first game of the season, get hockey the second game, hockey the third. They're great crack.
But did they even have a shot on target on Saturday?
I don't think so.
They had one shot in total, and it wasn't on target.
Yeah. And it wasn't Aubameyang either, though.
No, absolutely not. He was in my bet as well.
But going back to the Xhaka one, that's his 11th red card. To me, he was endangering the safety of the opponent by the way he left the ground, and his studs were over the ball as well. He's one of the most experienced players in there, and you're thinking, right, you need 11 men to beat City, and he's seeing Arteta's reaction to it. I will say Laporte was lucky though. He hit. I think it was Chambers, wasn't it, in the face that time to the lead up, the second or third goal.
He was only trying to wake him up after being out jumped by fucking Gundogan for the header in the 6-yard box. Fucking 2 centre backs and a keeper in the 6-yard box, and one of the smallest people on the pitch wins a header. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it was like he was standing on the 18-yard line with the hands out going, get in there, Bernardo Silva, and give me a hoosh up over them or something like that, man. Oh, yeah, it was terrible. Mark, tell us this as a referee, that Xhaka situation. If you went back and reviewed it, you'd still stand by the ref, even looking at it, if there was or wasn't contact.
Because like I said, by the laws of the game, he's endangering the safety of the opponent by the way he left the ground 2-footed. He wasn't in control of the tackle, so definitely a straight red all day long.
And of course, the history of him there, as you said, with the red cards, helps the referee in this decision as well, with history being there, of course, So,
there's a thing though, and we spoke about it last week when we spoke about Arsenal. Arteta just gave him back the armband. And as the lads are saying, you're going to City, you're going to be absolutely up against it. He's one of your senior men, and he's going out and doing something like that. That's your captain. He's doing that in the first 35 minutes of a game. The writing is on the wall for Arsenal if this shit keeps happening. I genuinely think as good as what they have, going forward, their defense is so poor, their shape is so poor, their communication is so poor. They could really, really struggle this season and struggle to get out of that bottom half of the table.
Well, not only that, if you look at their other captain, he's more concerned about going around in a multicoloured Lamborghini than he is about playing football, to be honest. And then I also look, Greg, you might want to take this one up. When he walked over to the sideline being subbed off, they put the armband on Lacazette, and Lacazette looked like he wanted the ground just to eat him up. He's the last place he wanted to be.
Why would you? Why would you want to go on in that game?
Yeah, but Jesus, even go on and try and do something,
You've seen your go 2-0 down. You've seen your club. He's not even the club captain. He's the captain on the day. Get himself sent off because he couldn't have been arsed to be there.
Yeah,
right. You've got your 2 centre backs that are doing God knows fucking what. They're playing hopscotch with each other. Do you know what I mean? The left and right back were a joke. City were walking through them at will. And they bring Lacazette on at 20 minutes to go. Would you really be bothered at 4-0 down? The team haven't had done anything.
I was looking at the end of the match, the players went over to the fans and they were clapping and stuff like that. And I was thinking, if I had been a fan of the front row there, I'd love one of those Nerf gun bazooka blaster yokes or something like that. And then I was
Fortnite one.
Oh, the good one. And then I was looking at Tierney as well. And Tierney was looking like as if he would have been preferred to stay at Celtic. He just looked absolutely distraught, absolutely gone. You know,
life must be bad when you're thinking you prefer to be back at fucking Celtic.
Yeah.
And they can't even win the league.
I was just going to say, I read a stat there. It's the first time since 1953 they haven't scored in their opening 3 games. Like, that says it all, doesn't it?
I think, are they playing Chelsea next?
No, they
Norwich.
Norwich.
Relegation 6-pointer right there.
Yeah.
What do we think of the Arteta situation? He has to go.
He won't be there, I don't think, coming back from the international break.
You don't think they'll give him as far as the Spurs game?
No, I think if Arsenal are smart here, they will get rid of him and throw money at Conte and try and steady the ship.
I don't think they'll have any money to throw at Conte except to actually pay Conte himself because they've spent all this money.
No, but that's what I mean. Like, throw money at him. With that team, he'll get them in and he'll get them safe.
Do you think he'd take the job, Greg?
Probably not, but if you offer him enough money, he might.
That's a Big Sam job already.
Big Sam's on his way to save them, except he can't save them.
Like, I'm not even messing. Like, Big Sam's never taken over a big club. It was when he went to England and they were talking about this as a world class manager for England. I was like, what? Relegation battle Big Sam. He's your big manager. He's just a top class manager, is it? Like, I know he's been around forever, but like, no one would have been considering him a top manager. He'd bite the hand off you to take a club like Arsenal.
Which, fairness, he managed the #1 club in Liverpool for a while, so.
Did you?
But like, even if Arsenal are doing dog shit at the moment, they're still, you know, for years they've still been considered a top 6 club. Like, for the last couple of years, Big Sam would take that if it was offered to him. I'm not saying he's the man for the job, but like,
he won't be offered it.
I can't see Conte. I can't see Conte going in for it.
I'm just
fucking
saying,
more
like,
chance they'll have
the
Brian if
manager.
you want to gig than fucking Big Sam.
That's just me saying. Conte would be the manager. He'd go, the team are in shambles here.
Yeah, I just don't know what manager's going to take it.
How about Zidane?
I seen a few
Lampard.
No, I seen a few tweets today. One Mark Overmars was pimping himself out for the job. That would be.
Was that not as sporting director though?
No.
I don't think. Oh, jeez, I wouldn't want to take that job because I don't think it's all on Arteta that, you know, these results. Like, I know the book does stop with the manager, but the players, like, as we said, a lot of those players just do not look bothered.
Aubameyang is the biggest problem of the lot.
Since that new contract, he's playing poison, hasn't he?
He has not done a fucking tap. I'd play Martial quicker than I'd play Aubameyang at this stage.
I can't fathom handing a guy 350 grand a week and he just shows up late on match day, gets caught on his phone in his car. Like, can they not put a hands free set in those Lamborghinis? No?
Did you not see what he done in one of the back end of last season when he didn't come off? When he came off, he got taken off after 60 minutes and walked straight out of the stadium.
Like, it's just.
Noel does that at Grey Zones every week.
In fairness, though, he wanted to beat the
shocking
in London, man.
And it doesn't even be half time, Mark. Let's move on. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we move on from Arsenal, can we just give a shout out to Willian?
Terminated his contract tonight,
Yeah, tore up his contract.
20 million.
20.5 million. And he's just ripped it up and he's gone back to Corinthians. He's gone back on 30% of what he was on at Arsenal. He was on 240 grand a week at Arsenal. He's going to be on 72 grand a week at Corinthians, but he tore up his contract rather than be there any fucking longer and not play football.
72 grand a week.
Football needs more Williams, I have to tell you.
Does it though?
Yeah, it does, man. If he turns around and he could sit there for 2 years and leave that club dry, as you know, like Lacazette and like fucking Aubameyang are going to do. But he didn't have it. He said, you know what? He said, I want to leave England with my head held high. I've been here almost 10 years. He said, and I'm leaving. And he said, I'm going to sign for my boyhood club. Fair fucking play, man.
Darren, he didn't rip up that contract without getting something to rip it up.
He did so. 100% he did. No. Absolutely he did.
Darren, it doesn't work that way. I'll ring Mino Raiola now and I'll find out.
He ripped up his contract and saved Arsenal 20.5 million. Fair play to him. Someone with fucking, you know, a little bit of respect for himself and for the club.
They could have bought Dan James for that.
Or boy, one half of them.
No, they couldn't.
You wouldn't have got him for 25 million, Ted. They wanted to.
Bought Ronaldo.
Could have bought Ronaldo.
Did you see that though? Varane and Ronaldo 49 million, Ben White 50 million.
Oh, it couldn't be that. So Varane was 41 million on his own.
Yeah.
And then Ronaldo we paid 15 up front.
either way, it's still Ben White for 50 million, isn't
That's yeah. Let's slag the Arsenal fans. Come on, lads.
Let's move on quickly, lads. Champions League draw. United fans are obviously delighted with the draw. I would expect you to coast into the next round, in fairness.
We'll take things for granted after last season. Lads.
But
Remember going to Istanbul and Leipzig and all.
But
I can't wait for Ronaldo to score about 400 goals in that group stage.
Even without Dan James, I think you'll have enough for Villarreal and Atalanta and young boys. So I think you should be okay there. Where are we? There, I'm going down to the conference there to bring Graham and Spurs, Ram, Vitesse, and NS Bora, Graham. Again, I'd assume you'd have enough.
They're not getting out of that group.
Oh yeah, we're doomed. We're doomed.
Hey lads, our senior teams loyalty.
that NS Mora.
If they get through that, they play Leicester in the next round.
Yeah,
that's the DDSL Cup.
Oh, Graham. Yeah, I'd imagine you'll go through.
Oh, we should host it. Yeah, we should host it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I would say is Harry Kane at 5-1 to be top goal scorer in that competition.
Beat the bookies.
Yeah.
Near enough.
I'd be more putting my money on Sun the way things are going at the moment.
Nah, well, Harry got himself 2 in that competition already.
Chelsea, Juventus, Zenit, and Malmo. I think Chelsea will have enough there. They'll go through Chelsea and Juventus, I would think, unless there's a serious collapse, but I can't say it. But a little bit of travel time for them anyway. Man City, PSG, Leipzig, and Bruges. Interesting group, but again,
top 2.
I'd be surprised if Man City.
Well, actually, Leipzig just lost their best player now as well. The Sabitzer gone to Bayern.
They can still cause problems though, don't they? Can't they?
Yeah.
Like stopping teams playing.
Yeah. Well, they've lost everybody now, really. Konaté went to Liverpool.
Upamecano
went to Bayern.
Bayern, yeah.
Sabitzer gone to Bayern. The manager's gone to Bayern.
They shift them all to Bayern.
Jesus, it's really gone to the dogs for them, hasn't it?
Can't wait till Haaland goes to Bayern for about 10 million quid next year.
Yeah. and 150 million on add-ons.
Yeah.
We drew Atletico, Porto, and AC Milan, so we'll be rekindling relationships with those 3 clubs there. Plenty of history with them and stuff like that. Tough group.
That's the best group of the lot, though.
Yeah, I think so. In terms of
from a neutral point of view,
and stuff like that, there's
from a neutral point of view, definitely, yeah.
Can't wait to stick at the Slatans anyway, so that should be a good one. And
we'll see how that works out for you.
It'll work out fine for us. You don't worry about that. It wasn't the first time. We seen what he did against you in the Europa League. You know what I mean? So
Zlatan didn't play against us.
He came on as a late
sub.
What did he come on for? 4 minutes,
just to get his appearance money. But yeah, so I think all 4 English teams should coast through there. I think Leicester is an interesting one in the Europa. Warsaw, Napoli, and Spartak Moscow.
That's a tough group.
That's a tough enough group.
A lot of travel there.
And West Ham as well, with Zagreb, Genk, and Rapid Vienna as well. Tough enough group as well.
The way West Ham are playing, you'd fancy them to get out.
Well, it's about strength and depth as well. You wonder what their squad's going to, or is it strong enough to withstand all competitions this season as well? You know.
Well, I'd imagine they'll sacrifice the FA Cup and the Carling Cup or whatever it's called, Carabao Cup.
But
you'd fancy a deep run in Europe. Now I know, like we drew West Ham in the next round in the Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, is it worth it for them playing on a Thursday to play Sunday, Sunday, and then have maybe an FA Cup game or a Carabao Cup game somewhere in the middle as well? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're talking about you lose Fornals and you lose Antonio here, and then all of a sudden they're in major trouble.
Yeah. Do they even have enough to do Thursday, Sunday though? Like in terms of the Europa League and
be tight with their squad.
He's paddling out a little bit at the minute, isn't he? They just picked up Zuma, and they picked up someone up front as well.
Oh, you man. No, that was Wolves, wasn't it? Wolves got your man Wanky Chan.
Yeah.
They picked up someone earlier on. Or were linked with someone, I can't remember, but I had mentioned a few weeks ago about my mate of mine's a West Ham fan, and I said they're looking to strengthen down the spine, and they got the centre back in. They're hoping to get the striker and the midfielder ahead of tomorrow, I think. You know who it was? It was the lad Vlasic from CSK Moscow.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did say him, yeah.
I'll tell you what, lads, I wouldn't be surprised if Lingard goes there tomorrow on a permanent deal.
I think it'd be good for him to go there, but I don't know if
I I think that'll happen tomorrow.
Imagine that 60 million for Dan James and Jesse Lingard. Good Lord.
But like, if I was United there, I'd use that to try and buy a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, if that's going to happen, then we need to go out and buy a defensive midfielder as well. If we're going to sell Lingard as well as selling James, get out and get a fucking defensive midfielder.
That's my prediction for tomorrow night. Lingard goes back to West Ham.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on it. As we said, we'll be covering deadline day live on YouTube tomorrow night on the Dynamo Podcast Network from 9:30 through to 11, and we will be recapping all the transfers as they happened and as they happen. Lads, I don't know what else we need to talk about. We've covered all the hot topics. Arteta out. We looked at Reece James' sending off. We spoke about Man United's midfield imbalance, and we spoke about Spurs being top, Graham, and Arsenal being bottom. Where else can we go?
I've got one for you. Was Pogba's tackle a foul?
Ask Mark that.
I don't think there was enough contact to be. He went across the shin guard, moved the shin guard. Neves made a meal of it. From the stills, it looked like a leg breaker, but when you watch the replay, no. And my thing is only what.
It sounded like Graham Souness there.
No, I said the stills make it look like. One of the lads sent me a picture, and I said, no, it looked like from that angle, it looked like he break his leg. But no, when you see, and Mike Dean's only 3 or 4 yards away from him, he's right underneath it. It's definitely.
Do you think it's the look? It's the look at Mike Dean, isn't it? Like that he stops, realizes he's played a bad pass out, looks at Mike Dean, and then goes down. I think that's what done him there.
I think
the VAR would have reviewed it as well.
Yeah,
I think if that ball was within a yard of him, he keeps going there.
Yeah,
he doesn't go down.
I think that's what it is. He realizes he's put a bad pass out and takes the time, because you can see it like when they replay it. He looks at Mike Dean before he goes to the ground.
Yeah.
I have another one actually.
His explanation after it was quite weird when he said, I looked to see where the ball has gone, because if it wasn't too far, I was going to go after it. And you were like, so then you didn't get a touch either, did you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he basically talked himself out of it afterwards, which was strange.
Sure, because people were asking me about the Daniel James tackle as well, but sure, it was off the pitch. After the Wan-Bissaka cleared it off the line that time, we came back across, and Daniel James, I don't know who he cleared, but it was definitely off the pitch. Yeah. So it wasn't a penalty.
It's fair game, isn't it, once you're over the white line, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it.
What happened? Stiff elbow to the jaw.
I have another quick one there, Mark. I don't know, did you watch the Brentford Villa game and the Brentford goal that was disallowed? What's the story there? Because the ball is in the air and the player nicks it out from between the keeper's hands and his foot.
I think it was 100% a goal.
I actually didn't 100%. See that. No, I didn't even see that.
The keeper goes to throw the ball up to boot it out. He does that, so the ball is in the air. It's no longer in his hands, and it's on his way down to his foot. And the Brentford player just nicks it out and pops it in. And the commentators were like, "You can't do that. That's a foul." I couldn't see what he did wrong.
And he didn't make any contact with the keeper. It was all ball he took.
Yeah,
I seen it as well, and actually
it was like the George Best goal.
Oh yeah, years ago. Remember that?
Yeah.
I was just wondering, what's the story? Is there a rule that says that when the keeper is going to kick it out like that, you're not allowed to stick your foot in?
There was a law, if because of the movement of the keeper, he's still technically in control of it because he hasn't kicked the ball yet or made contact with it. So the keeper is always going to get that decision. I don't know if they've amended it, and like I said, I hadn't seen the incident on Match of the Day or anything, so I can't really speak about it.
You're fucking Arsene Wenger there. I'm sorry, I didn't see the incident.
yeah. But no, I'll have a look at it later. But like I said, the keeper will always get the benefit of doubt in those situations because they say he's still in control of it because he hasn't kicked it yet.
Give the benefit of the doubt to the newly promoted smaller minnow team.
That's a great point for them, in fairness, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Should have been 3.
And are we going to talk about the Azerbaijan team to play Ireland now on Saturday, or what's the story?
No. This is going to be more or less an international free. I'm very scared about this Portugal game, lads.
The main man is coming to play.
Ronaldo's never scored against us.
Yeah, well, that'll all change. Don't worry about that.
That'll change on the weekend, yeah.
2 minutes ago, 0-0, Shane Duffy with a bullet header into the top of the net.
Of his own net.
Our top goal scorer, Shane Duffy.
We will be dropping tomorrow a Beat the Bookie international flavour. So if you want to get your bets in and have it on the show, we will be discussing it.
Portugal +5.
And no doubt later on in the week, myself and Darren will get together so we can pour more hate and shine on international football as we always
and the
do.
FAI in particular.
And the FAI. Yeah.
Oh, they doing well today with the equal pay thing. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Oh,
That
women,
was,
I'm gonna.
That's because
I have to say,
the women might
I have
actually
a
be
big,
decent.
big issue with that.
Yeah.
Well, I do, and I have the same issue in. So the prize money at Wimbledon, yeah, I'm a tennis coach. Prize money at Wimbledon is equal between men's and women's. However, yeah, it is. However, the men play best of 5 sets and the women play best of 3. So a man might have to play an extra 10 sets to win the championship than a woman, and they still get the same payment at the end of it. Yeah. It's a bit fucking something going wrong there. Where's the equality in that?
What do you want them to get paid by serve?
No, well, and I certainly don't want the girls who play in front of 850 people getting the same as the lads playing in front of 40,000 people. There's no fucking sense in that either.
What do you care? You're a coach. You'll still get your 20% off the top either way.
But it doesn't make sense. Like, you've got to think about, from a marketing point of view, from the FAI's point of view, they now have to pay those girls X, Y, and Z and give them a certain level of, respect. And the respect is, of course, is warranted, yeah. But like, if they go to a game and they sell 40 tickets, how are the FAI supposed to say, oh, listen, actually we owed them out fucking 50 grand there in money because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they're actually
but isn't the FAI comparable in that as well, that they should be promoting the game?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, promote the women's football. Your man Jonathan Hill, it is a PR
thing
for him.
All you want, but someone's gonna have to watch it at the end of the day, and that's where the fucking problem lies. If it was in our back garden, lads, you'd close the curtains. I'd
probably prefer to watch the women than watch the men.
Yeah,
Darren, we close the curtains when the men are playing. Forget about the women.
Hell, man. It's unreal.
You don't want to be caught.
The problem is,
you don't want to be caught watching that men's team. You don't want to be caught. It's embarrassing, lads.
It's gonna be the fans that go to the men's game that are punished for that.
Yeah,
Darren, you remember this? This will come back to bite you when you go for Lord Mayor of North Dublin. This is what's going to happen. Yeah, quote this video back to you about this.
You remember that Monday mashup when he went mental?
Oh, they'd be ringing me looking for copies of it and all, and RTE and News Talk and everything, Well, lads, it's been a pleasure having you on as always. Monday chats. We'll have no Monday mashup next week because it'd be too short.
We're all going to watch women's football instead.
We're all going to become Azerbaijan supporters or something like that. So till next, it'll be 2 weeks now. Actually, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be back with the Monday mashup. We also won't have a transfer show after tomorrow night either. So me and Dino might just go on holidays or something. Or we might start up maybe a retrotainment show on the network. Who knows?
Review Fair City every Monday and Tuesday or something like that.
Maybe Ted and Greg will be looking for guests. They might get Dean on to review something because certainly he's pissed as feck about football at the moment. Lads, till next time, Dynamo Podcast Network for the videos. Head over there on the local podcast and all that. If you want to contact the show, the Monday mashup is the show at the _upper_ tier on Twitter, the upper tier on Facebook, as you can see to my side there, Dynamo Podcast Network on YouTube, and you'll catch us over on Spotify, Podbean, and iTunes as well. Gentlemen, pleasure as always.
Thanks,